Hi guys, welcome to this special edition of the 2022 FIFA World Cup with your host and guide Francis Etim, the sports chef, ready and poised to serve you with the biggest and juiciest stories making the rounds as it concerns football's biggest showpiece. I won't be doing this alone because I've got two fine gentlemen who will be making sense of all the stories I'll be bringing to the fore as it concerns what is emanating from Qatar. I've got with me Francis Idorian, aka Big Fran, and also Sean Umo, who are here to do justice to all of this story. Alright guys, so there are a whole lot of issues that are going to be talked about on this edition, the special edition it is, and issues of the pitch have actually drawn the world's attention as it concerns the 2022 World Cup set to take place in Qatar a couple of hours away from today. Well, issues about human rights and also the LGBTQ plus community have expressed their concerns about the way the laws right there in Qatar treat this set of people, and that's why I've got my analysts who will try to make sense of these stories. Well, I'll start with you, Doroyen. Now, we have a country that has its laws, and then they will be hosting the world for at least 28-29 days, or you can put it for a month if you like. So how do you find that thin line in between having the country either accommodate the laws of the Westerners, who of course are very much open to the same-sex marriage, or is it a case of the Westerners knowing that if they are getting into someone's land, they have to respect the laws of the land?
Former FIFA President Sepp Blatter came out to say that it wasn't his own will for Qatar to get the hosting rights. That it was a result of former UEFA President
Michel Platini,
that pushed for Qatar to win the hosting rights. The major issue should be that they were supposed to put everything into proper context. Yeah, we know they want complete inclusiveness. The World Cup needs to go to other regions of the world.
Yeah.
The first thing they are supposed to put into proper consideration is the laws in Qatar. Laws are laws, and laws are meant to be respected. We know how it is. They have strict rules on same-sex marriage, and the Europeans are divided when it comes to issues like that. A letter was sent to all participating countries that football is what they are coming for, and rules were given: no drinking out, no loud music. These are laws governing the land. Dubai is a sovereign country.
No, that's Qatar.
Yes, Qatar rather is a sovereign country which have laws that guide such countries. So I think we don't need to go off track. It is basically about football and World Cup. Laws need to be respected, and I think Dubai is doing Qatar rather is doing what they need to do. If the fans are going to win, well, we're left to know if the fans would win. If they would chicken out to allow the LGBTQ plus community win the battle of if we're supposed to raise our flags, let people know our stand, and and all of that. So I think they didn't do the proper homework from the beginning. Conflict about who's supposed to host or not hosting, and that's why we're here. And I think it's even late talking about all of this. We'll have just a couple of days to go for the World Cup to kickstart, and this should not distract us from what we want to enjoy, which is the World Cup proper. I would like to stay neutral. Okay, in as much as I'm highly homophobic, I would like to stay neutral. I just want to enjoy football, and whatever happens, is left for Qatar.
Well, Sean, FIFA a couple of weeks ago actually told the 32 participating teams in the World Cup that it's now time for them to turn their attentions to football matters on the pitch. And I tell you, they came with a whole lot of basketballs from particularly 10 European countries, which includes England and Wales. And their claim is football is a means to increase the diversity, inclusiveness. So how do you find that that sharp and thin line between not allowing football to get drawn into the political conversation, which they try to stay away from, and at the same time using it as a tool to that inclusiveness and that diversity?
So first of all, I'd like to say the origin of football it could be traced to England, and it's quite unfair for the world or FIFA generally to probably pay deaf ears to their claims or what the seem is right, what they think is right. Yes, what the seem is right. But I'm not in support of that. Like my man said, he's 100% homophobic. I think I'm 100% more. You get. But I think
That's 200%.
probably more. But I think my own opinion is the football community shouldn't be limiting. You know, we should accept people the way they are. You know, it's just a 1 month tournament, and the whole world will be focusing on football. So let's just do football. For me, I think it's going to be more of a compromise between the government in Qatar and the governing body and the fans. Everybody has to meet at that crossroad where we can all say, okay, it's neither to the left or to the right. Let's just stay in between and let everybody have fun.
I'm going to start with you, Sean.
Okay.
The favorites are up and running again, and yes, there's been so much talk about the Champions course. Yes, I'm sure you know the Champions course. Over the past 4 years or 4 editions, if I'm not mistaken, right from 2006, the defending champions have failed to progress beyond the group stage of the competition.
Yeah.
It all started with Italy, 2006. They won it. Went to the 2010 edition in South Africa.
They couldn't make it past through.
The group stage.
Yeah.
2010, we saw Spain lift it for the first time in their history in 2014.
And they had a very terrible outing.
In 2014, obviously. And then we saw it 4 years ago in Russia when Germany, who had won it in Brazil, failed to get past the group stage. With the Le Bleu of France, how do you fancy their chances of defending the World Cup they won 4 years ago in Russia?
France is a formidable team, and you can't just knock them off like that. But for me, I think my favorite would be Brazil.
Why Brazil?
From records, Brazil obviously is like
They are
the most successful. That's one. And then we have players like Neymar, Vinicius. You know, we have Anthony. Like it's of course I'm a Man U fan. Come on. and then we have a lot of experience in that Brazilian team. You know, from Edison, like down from the goalkeeper to the attack. You know, I will feel like the second 11 is good enough to even participate in the World Cup. You know, so there's going to be a lot of focus on Brazil. Personally, I will tell you that Brazil is my favorite team. Maybe France could be, next. Yes, but Brazil for me is my favorite.
Sean talked about what a formidable team they really are. But you realize that team that went on to achieve glory in 2018, some key members of that squad are not going to be part of this present squad. For example, you talk about their midfield dynamo in Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante are both going to be missing. Now, we saw them achieve some level of success with the trio in attack. Mbappe, Benzema. Okay, Benzema was not there. Olivier Giroud and Antoine Griezmann. Yeah. Now, you look at Antoine Griezmann and Benzema. They've struggled. Griezmann have struggled for form. Benzema have not really been himself this season because he struggled with form and fitness. So, how do you think Didier Deschamps will be able to manage all of this? Also, looking at the midfield conundrum, you have a new set of players coming to Aurelien Tchouameni, Camavinga. These other guys stepping into the huge shoes left by the likes of N'Golo Kante and Paul Pogba. How do you think? How do you really fancy, their chances of really making or staking a claim for themselves in Qatar?
And just recently, one of their hottest prospects, Christopher Nkunku, just got injured.
Very
training, quite sad.
Very sad.
The biggest football fiesta happens to be the World Cup, and he will not be there.
And he was there already in Qatar.
Yeah, Camavinga got him injured, but quite. It happens in football. You never can rule out injury. So, like I said, it's a team in transition. We have new setup in that midfield. The heart of the midfield. We have Tchouameni, Camavinga. These are new guys, right there. Still learning the ropes.
True.
When the chips are down, you can rely on the likes of Pogba,
and Kante.
N'Golo Kante, because they are tested and reliable players. These new guys are still pretty young. I think it should be their
first major tournament.
World Cup is not a testing ground. It is, best of the best. So I think it's still very open. But for me, I don't think France have got what it takes, to win the World Cup. Going forward, I'm talking about the attacking department, right? And Nkunku, like I just said, happens to be the guy with the highest number of goals in that France setup. Giroud has been struggling, with Juventus. With AC Milan. Right there, he blows cold and hot sometimes. And then for Antoine Griezmann, has been struggling.
With
After he
Atletico.
left, Barcelona to Atletico Madrid, he has failed to nail a
Starting
regular
bet.
playing time right there under Diego Simeone right there at the Wanda Metropolitano. And like I said, it will be a very difficult, it will be an Herculean task for them. Let me go to South America.
Yeah. Everybody's going to South America. I personally have
Please
it
don't pick
hot
Brazil,
team.
though.
Oh, no, I'm not going for Brazil.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
not going for Brazil.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Surprisingly, they might be the dark horse for me. But if I'm going to South America, I'll probably stick with Lionel Scaloni's team and Uruguay. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe they should
Yeah,
say I just
yeah,
read
yeah.
my mind.
Actually,
I thought you were going to call
that's
Argentina.
another strong.
Uruguay have a
That's
strong
another
team.
strong team. Strong
Very
team.
strong team.
Not like an individually driven team. Yeah, together they're a
A
very
team.
strong team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going through their midfield, they have the likes of Rodrigo Bentancur. They have Lucas Torreira,
Yeah. Former Arsenal man.
former Arsenal
Yeah.
man who was with Fiorentina last season. And attacking department, they
Yeah.
have Edison Cavani, Luis Suarez just won the league in Nacional right there in South America. And
Nunez.
They have Darwin Nunez too. They have Pellegrini. They have top players.
Fede
right there.
Valverde.
Yeah.
The
One
form
the
of his life.
Hottest
midfield
right
in
now.
the world right now. He has already done double digits. I stand to be corrected.
Yes, he has. He has.
Already. So I think, and people are not really focusing on Uruguay national team. They are a very solid side, decent players, decent squad, and I think they will take the world. They have all it takes to take other teams to the cleanup. So I'll be sticking with Uruguay and maybe Belgium, but no France, no Brazil.
Okay, Sean, let's talk about the prospect of the sites that are going to be parading the goats of football. This could turn out to be their last World Cup.
Yeah.
It may,
Yes.
because Cristiano Ronaldo, if he has his way, he will still play till 50.
Yeah, I know.
And of course, we see the table he has been shaking of late. Everybody has been falling through from that table bed. Let's keep that aside for now. With the Portuguese national team right now, it wonderful quality set of players,
Yeah.
world-class players
Yeah.
in every single department.
Yeah.
So what do you make of their chances? Do you tag them as one of the top favorites to also go ahead and stake a claim for themselves?
Well, one of the challenges we are going to have in this World Cup would be countries that would probably focus on individual players. Because I feel like Qatar 2022 is going to be a different type of World Cup. Because, like you said, we have lots of new entries into the World Cup. They're trying to, show the world what they can do. And then the old dogs or the other favorites coming in with the experience, might likely want to focus on certain players. For example, Portugal. I see a team that's going to be centered on Ronaldo, Bruno, So I think it might affect their gameplay, except they don't play to Ronaldo. You see what's happening in Manchester United lately. Whenever Ronaldo is on the pitch, there's this distortion. There's this disconnect with the play. But whenever Ronaldo is not playing, there's a sort of team energy going on. So for Portugal, I think if they don't play around Ronaldo too much, they stand a chance of, qualifying to quarterfinals. At least, if not going, proceeding to win, yeah.
Okay, in the Argentine national team, Leo Messi said that this will be his last World Cup. Like I said, he's retired before from the national team, though that was down to frustration, and he's back now. But look at that Argentine national team, the Albi Celeste. Reason to be optimistic?
Well, reasons to be optimistic, yes. If you ask me, I'll say yes. Just yesterday, still, backing what he said about Lionel Messi. He said he's not going to spend much time in the game anymore. Age, of course, is not on his side. They have one of the most attacking threats in world football right now. The new guy in the block, Julian Alvarez, with Man City right now. There's this other guy with Inter Milan. Just Lautaro Martinez.
Okay,
Lautaro Martinez right now. There's Lautaro Martinez. There's Yalkin too.
Yes, Yalkin.
There's Yalkin Korea with Inter Milan. There's the ever reliable there's Angel Di Maria for Juventus as well. They have decent players. True. Like Sean Riley said, it is not about individual brilliance. They need to play as a team collectively if they stand a chance of probably progressing to the semi-final or the final. Yes, they just won the Copa America recently, and so I think that will be probably working for them.
True.
The
Takes
confidence
that
take
burden
yes
off their
off them.
shoulder too as well.
Messi was, have been longing to win an international trophy with the Abes Listen National, which he did in the last Copa America. All eyes will be on Argentina because, Messi. I think the only cup or the only trophy that is yet to visit his cabinet will be the World Cup. He has won the Champions League, won the Copa America. Name the trophies aside the AFCON anyways. So World Cup, well, they've got what it takes, but will he go down to individual brilliance? I don't think that will not work. If they want to solely depend on Messi, they might be having a problem. Even in the Copa America, it was Angel Di Maria's brilliance, that bailed them out.
In the final.
So talking about players, yes, they have the quality, they have the material, but they need to play collectively as a team because football is a collective business. So I think every team, have a fair chance of probably lifting the trophy, but it boils down to teamwork. Teamwork would help at the end of the day.
All right. While you guys have given your own favorites, permit me to give mine. I don't need your permission. I'll still give my all the same. No, the Dutch national team. Whoa. Louis van Gaal is back. He knows this competition. Yeah, and you talk about quality. They've got quality. They've got experience. Virgil van Dijk. There's this hot guy right now at PSV Eindhoven, Cody Gakpo. The guy is something else. I'm telling you. So to me, there's Dumfries, Frankie De Jong. Yeah, they have quality. Yes, Memphis Depay, obviously. So to me, the Dutch national team. Yeah, Tyrell Malaysia. Yes, he made the squad. So to me, in the midst of all of those players you called, I think the X factor to me is Louis van Gaal. And if you look at their form of late, remember Ronald Koeman kept them in a very good place, left to Barca. Frank de Boer took them back to the trenches, and then they struggled seriously. Then we had Van Gaal came in, and since he's been with the national team, they haven't. And don't forget, they missed the last edition in 2018. So, for players like Virgil van Dijk, it's his first World Cup tournament. Yeah. So, I think, to me personally, I think the Dutch national team is my top favorite. Now, away from the favorite, let's get to the dark horses. Before we talk about the dark horses, I'm just going to give a brief history of the dark horses we've seen over the years in the tournament. You guys can cast your mind back to 2002, hosted in South Korea and Japan, joint host. We saw Turkey go all the way to the semis, of that competition. Then it won. The best underdog story for me is in 2014, Costa Rica. Costa Rica were drawn in a group that had England, that had Uruguay, and that had Italy. They were meant to be the whipping boys in that group, but they defeated Uruguay 3-1. They also went on to defeat Italy and then played out a goalless draw with England, qualified top of that group, and played all the way to the quarters where they lost, to the Dutch national team. And it was that competition that saw the emergence of Keylor Navas and the Arsenal guy, Campbell. Yes, then he was with Arsenal. Yeah, he's still with the national team. So Costa Rica in 2014 was another really big underdog moment. And then you can go on to call Ghana in 2010. Of course, we all know the story. But away from the history now, let's get to the present. Sean, let me start with you. Who will you tip as your biggest underdog, your biggest dark horse?
Senegal. Senegal, because I think they have the quality of players that, for me, would try to compete with teams like the teams you mentioned, like Holland, like England. Yes, So playing with Holland, that match is going to determine a lot. They have Sadio Mane. They have
half fit though.
I know he's not starting the first match, but hopefully we hope to see him proceed from the second match. They have a lot of players. You see, that's a team that plays like a football team. They're not solely dependent on a particular player, and that's what we're looking at the World Cup. Because when we have teams that play together, you spoke about the Uruguayan team. There's another team that people are looking at with one kind of eye that I know that they will perform well in the World Cup. Japan.
Really? Really?
You don't think so?
Well, convince me.
You know, these guys have gone to study football, and they, the Asians, they have a way of doing their things. You know, so they are going to be, they are a very fast team. They're going to be a team that people would probably just look down, and then might just smuggle themselves into the knockout stage.
So to you, you picked two teams.
Yes, Senegal and Japan.
Yes, the Senegal group, you have the host Qatar.
Yeah,
You have Ecuador, and of course the Dutch national team.
Yeah.
And picking them as dark horses, it means you expect them to qualify
Yes.
from that group.
Yes.
Okay, Ido, into you, dark horses, one or two, feel free.
I'll stick with Croatia.
Croatia.
Croatia, yeah.
The dark horses in 2018 as
Yeah,
well.
Croatia. I think Croatia would spring up major surprises, and then one of their strengths would be the midfield. Yeah, the Achilles heel might probably be the defense line. They still have the likes of Dejan Lovren, you know, ageless Dejan Lovren. You know, it could be, you know, he could be very bad on the
Did
very
that too as well.
still there. But I think their strength lies in the midfield. When you have a certain Luka Modric, Marcelo Brozovic, you know, Mateo Kovacic, you know, Rakitic of, you know, Sevilla right there. They don't really have a focal point, but they have creative
Team play.
leaders that could hurt any team. Aside, they have one Marco Lavaja, an unknown player but a very top player. Kramaric is also there for the team.
Andrej
So,
Kramaric.
he's also there for this. And I think Croatia, you know, will be the dark horse. There will be less pressure, you know, on that particular team. Zlatko Dalic, the manager of the team, knows how to think out the team very well. I like the fact that he doesn't have a focal point like I rightly said, but the strength lies in the midfield. Luka Modric, don't give him that space to dictate the midfield. He hurts you. Marcelo Brozovic, he knows how to, you know, start the ball from behind. There's also an Ivan Perisic.
Yes,
You know,
as
so
well.
with Inter Milan
Very,
last season.
very versatile as well.
Destroyed Juventus in the Supercoppa Italiana, won the league with Inter Milan, won the Coppa Italiana, and you know, also took them to the Champions League back to back. That's the player we need to watch out for also in the World Cup. So I think Croatia will be my dark horse.
Okay, now it's my turn.
Yeah, sure.
Dark
Go ahead.
horses, drums roll, Denmark. The Danish national team. Yes, to me, I think Denmark. I like, we saw them at the Euros. Yeah, I think that was a very controversial penalty against England in the semis. So to me, I'm really eager to see how the Danish national team will fare in this edition. And to me personally, I just feel like, yes, Denmark to me are my dark horses. So we wait to see. We know that the World Cup serves us with, you know, really exciting stories and surprises. I mean, that's why it's the World Cup. That's why it's the biggest football fiesta, and we look forward to it, and we look forward to how these teams will fare. Now, quickly, let's get to African teams. Yes, get over it. Nigeria won't be there. Sean, have you gotten over it yet? It's still hard.
World Cup without Nigeria, it's painful.
Now, so it pain.
World Cup without
It's
Nigeria,
very-
I see that as a principal cup.
It's
Yeah, sadly but true though.
it's painful, but this is the time for us to sit back and work on our football. You know, the FA has to do things right this time. We have too many talented players not to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, true. We'll get to talk about some other Nigerian players with Nigerian origin who will
Yeah.
be playing
Yeah,
in the World Cup
in the
with
World
other
Cup.
national
Yeah.
teams. But first, let's talk about these African teams. Let's talk about the chances of the African teams right there in the competition. I'm going to talk about each of them and check out their group, and so we get to know how tough or how easy a task it will be for them. Let's start with the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Samuel Eto'o Fields, I don't know who sent am work. He came to say that Cameroon will face another African team in the final of the World Cup. And I was asking this World Cup or the World Cup that had passed before. But that is what Samuel Eto'o Fields claimed. The Cameroonian national team, they have been grouped with Serbia, Switzerland, and Brazil. I don't know how you fancy the chances of Cameroon in that group. Let's get to the Black Stars of Ghana. The reason why Sean and Idoyin are complaining right now, they are the reason why they are complaining right now. Technically, they didn't actually defeat the Super Eagles, but they did Qatar now. We dey here.
Away go rules.
Away go rules. They did Qatar. We dey here. They have been drawn alongside Portugal, South Korea, and their own nemesis, Uruguay. Of course, they remember the story in 2010. Then we have Morocco, Morocco are in Group F, where they have been drawn against Canada, Belgium, and Croatia. The Senegalese national team, we talked about them in Group A, drawn alongside the host Qatar, Ecuador, and the Dutch national team. And then the last but not the least country which will be representing the continent in the Mundial is Tunisia, where they have been drawn against Denmark, France, and Australia. Idorin, okay, let me start with you, Idorin. Which team, which African team do you fancy to even get beyond the group stage?
It will be a little bit tough because I don't think Africa is ready yet. Yeah, we're not ready yet as a continent, to push the Europeans and the South Americans, to the limit. We're not ready. First off, starting from our football back home, technically we're not there. Most of our biggest exploits, players that are treated abroad, will fail to make our league of standard. Arsene Wenger said something recently. He said we'll have so many Sadio in Africa, but because Africans have refused to grow, beyond where they are recently, it's why they are still where they are. In 2002, if I'm not mistaken, was it Senegal?
Yeah,
Senegal. Yeah, they didn't lose any game in the World Cup. They shocked the world. Defeated France in their first game, right? They won all their 3 games. They drew 1-2, drew 1.
Yes.
They didn't lose a game. And also in 2010, it was Ghana. All times to Luis Suarez handball in the light minute before Asamoah Gyan blew off the penalty right there. The highest we've done should be the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's been the quarterfinal.
We've not been to the semi-final. Are we going to cross the hurdle? Are we going to break the jinx? Well, so many questions left to be answered. African football is not where I think it should be right now. It will still be within the Europeans. No disrespect to African countries, no disrespect to them, but I think the class. The golfing class is just there. We saw what happened in the last friendly game. One might say the friendly game. Was it Brazil against Ghana?
Yes.
They were humiliated. They were whitewashed right there. So, and you need to see the way the Brazilians took the Ghanaians to the trainers. So I don't think any African countries, like I said, no disrespect to them, are got what it takes to win the Qatar World Cup. The highest we could probably go is maybe quarterfinal. And that'll be Senegal. Of course, Senegal. With a fully fit Sadio Mane.
Okay, Sean actually looks like he disagrees with you. Of course,
No, it's more of an oppression something, because I'm feeling like, okay, we have the likes of, like I would say, we have the likes of Brazil, England, we have the likes of Germany, and all of that, France and the rest. So it's going to be a matter of, I know how to play better than you and experience. Like you said, we are not where we ought to be by now. We have lots of talented players, but the system, is not helping out. So the World Cup is a game of, it's like Champions League. There's an attitude in the World Cup. That's why I picked Brazil as my favorite, because I know that when Brazil is in the World Cup, it's eyes on the prize. Always the eyes on the prize. They will do anything possible to get to the round of 16 and then the quarter-finals, and then if you let them,
was 2002.
I know, but this team right here is crazy, So I feel like the African team might surprise us, but genuinely, if I want to be fair and honest with you, the most I think they would qualify to is maybe round of 16.
You look at something that stands out to me with the 5 African teams. Realize that 4 out of the 5 of them have actually had some level of instability over the past 6 months. You see change of coaches about a year. Yes, let's put it at about a year. Look at the Ghanaian national team. Of course, we saw the change of coach. Otto Addo came in and were able to manage a qualification. You look at the Tunisian after the AFCON where they failed. We saw a new coach coming. The Moroccans, we saw the same thing, a new coach coming. And also, there's a team I've not mentioned. Okay, apart from Senegal, Cameroon as well. Yes, we saw Rigobert Song coming after, the AFCON, where Tony Conceição got sacked. And I think that instability amongst 4 of this continent, 5 teams representing the right there, I think could actually be a problem. But we'll wait to see how they will fare, particularly Senegal. I think everybody have got their eyes on Senegal. And if you look at the last 2 times Senegal have actually been in the competition, 2002, yes, they've done well. They played up to the quarterfinals. 2018, they got knocked out by the fair play rule. Yes, in the group stages where they were they were on par with Japan, and unfortunately, and yes, they had to go out. Yes, exactly. But I think, let me ask you guys one question before we move away from Senegal. You talk about the quality of the players. When you talk about the Senegalese national team over the past few years, you talk about Edouard Mendy, Kalidou Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, Idrissa Gueye. I think those guys have been like
the forefront,
yes,
like
the forefront. But if you take a critical look at these guys, probably apart from Sadio Mane, they have all struggled this season. They have all lost form. Edouard Mendy has not been the same.
yeah, Ibn Koulibaly when he came to Chelsea.
Yeah. You look at Idrissa Gueye with the Toffees, has also struggled.
Yeah.
Don't you think that will have an effect, some sort?
Okay,
What, Sean?
for me, I feel like the World Cup is a different experience. There's this excitement, there's this urge to impress, it's the World Cup, it's football's biggest tournament. So I feel like everybody's going to go in all prepared, all ready. It's a matter of the team with the most experience and the technicality on the pitch. So I feel like there's been training going on, there's inspiration, all of that stuff. It's the World Cup. So everybody needs to get there ready. I don't think that form is going to really affect them.
Okay.
What I think is the experience is going to matter a lot when the chips are down. Experience will play a very important role.
You share that sentiment?
Yeah, of course, I share his sentiment because the World Cup is a different ballgame entirely compared to club football.
Okay.
There is this different spirit and vibe when it comes to World Cup, and I think their club form might not play a major role in what happens in World Cup. They want to win it. They want to give their best. They want to make their home country proud. I think they'll go all out and give their very all. Well, I can just say what I feel as a fan or as a neutral. Senegal might even go all the way. It might be Ghana. It could be Tunisia. You never can say. It's the World Cup. It boils down to who needs it more. But like he said, he used the word Brazil always keep the ice. They have
on the prize, yes.
So it boils down to who wants it more. So we can just give our own analysis based on what we see week in, week out from these guys from their respective club. So but I still agree with him totally that the club form might not translate to what happens to the national team.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about other Nigerians. Okay, technically they are Nigerians. They have the Nigerian blood in them, but are representing other national teams right there in Qatar. We have 5 of them. For the Swiss national team, we actually have 2. We have the man Manuel Akanji, the Manchester City defender. He has been in stunning form this season. The guy got signed by Pep from Dortmund, and he strolled straight up to that Manchester City first team. I mean, very impressive player for me. We also have Noah Okafor of Salzburg as well, also a Swiss. He will be representing Switzerland in the tournament. Then, of course, Bukayo Saka of England is another player. Jamal Musiala of Germany. I'm telling you, watch out for Jamal Musiala. An excellent player he is, and of course he has been bamboozling the whole Bundesliga defense line this season. He's just, I think, 18 or 19. Yeah, so I think fantastic player, one you should watch out for. Then we have, yes, Karim Adeyemi is another the German machine, if you ask me. Then Ike Ugbo of Canada. Yes, watch out for the other guy too. He too, I believe, will also be hoping to stake a claim for himself right there in Qatar. Then to some other stats we should actually look out for. I'm going to give you a World Cup roster record. Yes, youngest player at the World Cup. Sean, no idea?
No idea.
Okay, you suffer Mukoko.
Yeah, I know it sounds like I was actually an African player. I saw him like
I say black. As we talk right now, he's 17. But he's going to be 18 on the 20th of November. Yes, so I think that will be on Sunday when the World Cup kicks off. Yeah. So the oldest player at the tournament will be Alfredo Talavera of Mexico. He is 40 years old. So he will be the oldest player at the World Cup. Shortest player at the World Cup. No, it's not Messi. No, it's not Shaqiri. Okay. You guys will not guess. So Mona, no bother. He plays for Morocco. Elias Chier, 5.2, like 5 feet 2 inches. That is like 158 centimeters. Very close. The real definition of close to the ground. Tallest player at the World Cup is a Dutch. No, it's a Dutch. Yes, Andreas Nopet, 6'6". That is 6 feet 6 inches, about 203 centimeters tall. Peter Crouch, I think, is taller. Yeah, I think Peter Crouch is 6'7", 6'8". Yes. So watch out for the man Andreas Nopet of the Dutch national team. He's actually the tallest player in this current edition of the World Cup. Most appearances at the World Cup, as it stands, Leo Messi has played, of course, more matches at the World Cup, 19. And then you talk about the most goals and most assists at the World Cup. It goes to the man Thomas Müller of Germany. He scored 10 goals and also 6 assists throughout his whole World Cup appearances. Yes, with the German national team. Another team you should keep an eye for. Then for the most valuable squad at the 2022 World Cup, I'll give you the top 5. So number 5, you have Portugal, £1.1 billion. In 4th place, you have Spain, £1.2 billion. In 3rd place is the defending champions, France, £1.3 billion. And the Samba Boys coming 2nd with £1.4 billion. And you guys can guess who the most valuable team is.
It has to be the English team.
Yeah, it has to be the English team.
But nobody don't talk about English national. So that means
1.5
nobody believes
billion.
it. No, I'm not talking about
Okay,
their
okay,
squad
the-
value,
the-
right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about their chances.
Okay, talk about their try as you don't carry
There's
on.
nothing to talk about now. No, nothing. I know.
I don't even think that team is so interesting.
No,
No.
there's
Really?
yes. If
Even with
England,
what Southgate has
if
done.
Southgate could probably drop
I don't think that team is so
Jadon
interesting.
Sancho, pick the likes of,
That is even in form currently.
Pick the likes of Manchester United captain
Maguire.
Maguire,
Maguire.
Maguire.
who was arguably one of the best defenders in Italian Serie A last
in his
season.
defense, Southgate talked about experience. That's why I want to come
You
in.
understand?
Because we have some players with tact, in quotes, national team players.
Yeah,
You
sure.
talked about
Yes.
connectivity with the team. Okay, you
I
just
don't.
feel it's just
I
go
just think
high.
it's boring. It's just overhyped. I think the Portugal team is even more interesting. Portugal, if the Dutch, they are even more interesting than the English team.
Now, time for the moment of truth. Yes, the World Cup quiz. Guys, I have as much as 30 questions here, but don't worry. So, guys, this is the World Cup quiz. Of course, the essence is just to test their knowledge on the FIFA World Cup, and we get to learn a thing or two as well. So, who should start first?
Let me start first.
Okay,
No,
okay, you don't volunteer.
Okay, I start first. No wala.
Okay, now, are you ready?
I'm ready, bro.
Okay. In what year was the inaugural FIFA World Cup tournament? Which time they first play World Cup?
Jesus. I think it was 1970-ish.
Hi. Child.
1930?
1930. 19. You
1930.
said you don't even there. You just dey like
I
this.
know that 1930. Right?
It was 1930.
30.
1930.
Okay.
Yes, that was when the first World Cup
World
was
Cup,
played. Yeah. So that's it. You still go. Yes,
Okay,
I'll still
okay,
give it.
okay.
Yes. Which nation has won the most World Cups?
Brazzaville.
How many times do we know?
5 times, bro.
Okay. You jump past. So. Who did Zinedine Zidane head boot in the 2006 final?
Materazzi, what?
Marco
Materazzi. Yes.
Okay.
Italian boy.
Yeah.
Who is the all-time leading World Cup goal scorer?
Pele.
Hmm.
Miroslav Klose.
Okay. Yeah, it's Miroslav Klose. Yeah, at 16. Pele had been long overthrown. The person who he overthrew was Ronaldo de Lima. Yes. Yeah, Ronaldo de Lima had, I think, 14. Yes, but now Miroslav Klose has more. So he currently holds that award. Then you don't too shy. May I just give you one hard one? What year was Maradona's hand of God incident? No be your own, no, Francis. Make sure and answer. What year? Make some people proud. Make some people proud. Did you observe? Calculate, man. Calculate. So, okay. Let me give you guys a tip right now. It was against England. He scored a brace in that game. Yes, hand of God. Yes, against England.
1980
Okay, now, but when I get YouTube then, 1986. You know, try. 82, 86, no be the same thing. All right, okay, Francis, to you. Sean, you did a good job. Well done. Francis, to you, 5 questions. How many nations have won the FIFA World Cup?
Brazil 5, Germany 4, Italy 4.
So you want to calculate finish. Calculate.
Like 5 or 6?
The answer be that. The answer be like 5 or
6.
6. Wrong. 8.
8. Oh, okay.
Uruguay don't win too.
Yeah, Uruguay don't win. Okay.
I think there's one. Sorry, has Costa Rica won? There's one country that.
Costa Rica. No.
No. There's one country that. Which other Asian country has won?
I think
No
there's
Asian country.
3 countries in the South American
And
region.
yes,
Brazil, Argentina. No, Brazil, Argentina, and
Yes,
Yes,
Uruguay.
Uruguay.
And the rest have been Europeans.
Europeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Francis, still to you, which host nation is the only one to get knocked out during the group stages of the tournament? They were the host and they got knocked out during the group stage of the tournament.
This African country. South Africa.
Everything went bad in Africa.
I never said so.
Which nation is the only one to top the FIFA World Rankings without ever winning a World Cup?
Belgium?
Correct.
Okay. Who was named the best young player at the 2006 World Cup? Hosted in Germany.
2006. 2006.
Won by Italy.
2000.
Played the final against France. That's more than enough team.
Cannavaro won the world best that year.
Mm-hmm.
No idea, honestly.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
It was France and Italy.
You mean? Okay,
Yeah,
yes, the
final,
final,
yeah,
yes,
final
was between
was-
France and Italy.
France-
Who played the last
France,
match?
France and Italy.
Okay, he played for Germany. He played for Germany, yes, played for Arsenal. I don't know how
Wait,
many teams I want
No,
to
no,
do
you
now.
don't give me the team. Now the head, I know the person you're talking about. One of their best midfielder is a midfielder.
Okay.
My brain don't. No.
Okay,
Wait,
answer.
Wait.
Answer. That's not find trouble. Answer.
He get one kind of eye like this. Remember.
Alexander Leb?
No.
Arsenal 2-6.
What's his name again? No, he's tall.
Masaka?
No.
At the tribe. Oh, this
Lucas Podolski.
Yes,
Exactly.
now.
Okay, last question. Who won the 2014 World Cup Golden Boot Award?
Who win? Exactly.
Okay. Now Germany win World Cup that year.
Muller?
No. 2014. Yes. Brazil 7-1. Yes, I don't remember James Rodriguez
of Colombia.
of Colombia. Yeah, he was. All right. Well, that's the essence of it all, Sha. Just to remind ourselves and also you guys. I'm telling you. Well, guys, it's on that note I bring to an end, this special edition of the 2022 FIFA World Cup Preview Podcast. Thank you, Sean Umor and also Francis Idoyen for making this a success. Yeah, thank you to the whole production crew as well, and also to you out there. Yes, you are the real MVP. Watch out for more premium sporting content that will be dropping on this channel. I remain Francis Etim, the Sport Chef, and until I come your way again, stay safe and stay sporty.